7 a.m. right now. I'm super late. I should have left an hour ago. Now I have to sit in traffic to get to the city. This is the bummer of starting late. In the Marina now, about to cut the Uber app on, but just would like to share something with you guys that happened on TaskRabbit. So a couple weeks I accepted this TaskRabbit gig. I believe the gig was to like go to the grocery store or go pick up an item or something like that. So what I did, I went, go pick up the item, delivered the item to the customer. It usually takes 3 to 5 days for TaskRabbit to process the order. But when I was doing this order, I was also doing a lot of other orders, so I didn't notice that this order did not process. Then I get an email from TaskRabbit 2 weeks ago saying that, you know, this was a fraudulent charge. We're gonna pay you out, expect to be paid out within 3 to 5 days. And I'm thinking to myself, actually I lost track and I thought that you guys already paid me. So if you're on TaskRabbit, you really wanna like make sure that they pay you for each job that you complete. More importantly, make sure that if you go buy something for a customer that you actually save the receipt, take a photo of the receipt, text it to the customer, because that way like it's in the system. And another thing that's really important, on jobs that are over $100, you may want to confirm, like with TaskRabbit, there are a lot of fake requests coming in that are over $100. I guess people have figured out a way to like game the system and hustle TaskRabbit or something like that. Yeah, but for now, I'm not really accepting any requests on TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit's been really dead. I haven't seen anything pop up on TaskRabbit. So that's my take on TaskRabbit right now. I would really love for them to, you know, increase those jobs, because I really like TaskRabbit. It's a lot of fun. They just accepted an UberX request, 1.3 surge. Man, I wish this could have been a 2X. Let's go to the airport. 7:51. Just finished that request, driving back to the Marina now, and I just drove by another Uber car that was beside me, and I noticed that their phone was completely red, like the whole city was surging. I look on my phone, there's no surge going on. Only time I see the surge is when I go to the passenger app. But on my driver app, no surge. On that other Uber driver's phone, I just saw crazy surge. Don't know what's up with that. 8:21 a.m. just accepted a UberX request, 2.6 surge. Cross my fingers, they want to go to the airport. 10:55 and right now it's definitely slow. Just accepted a Caviar order, but I waited online for 30 minutes before I accepted that order, so that's how I'm judging if it's slow or not. A lot of locals will leave the city this weekend, and a lot of people will flood the city for Pride weekend. So that's really what's gonna go down. This weekend is gonna be crazy busy. This weekend I'm not gonna work because I already know the scoop. There's gonna be a lot of tourists here, a lot of first-time Uber users, and the perfect weekend for me to take off and go do something else. Like party and all this madness. Just dropped off that last Caviar order and things are kind of slow. Of course, Uber's not slow, but it kind of is slow. There's no surge pricing going on. And if there's no surge pricing going on, I don't really want to drive for Uber. I guess the only benefit of driving for Uber if there's no surge pricing is the power driver bonus. Because if you complete 120 trips in 1 week, you get a $500 bonus. But think about how much time you'd have to spend on the road to do 120 trips. Back at the house now. Pretty much came back home to chill out for a little bit and switch from car. Here at the house now. Pretty much came back to the house to switch the car for the bike so I can go back to the city and be on bike. Today is kind of one of those days I went out, did a few gigs. Today's kind of one of those days I went out, made a little bit of cash, and I want to enjoy the rest of the day. And I'm going to work tomorrow, and I'm going to work the day after, and I'm also going to work Friday, and plan to take off majority of the day Saturday, all day Sunday. And that's pretty much how I'm going to play my hand of cards that I have now. Back in Oakland now, gotta go to Home Depot. I am building a camera rig at home later today. Show you guys how it all works. Working on my project. Here we go. Got the PCP pipe here. I gotta make a few. Gotta cut these down to 11 inches, and then I'll let you guys know what I'm building. All right. So far, this is what I've got complete. Now the camera's gonna go here, and I have to drill a hole in here to connect this screw, because this is what the camera is gonna screw into. So I have to connect this to there. Now my drill bit is a little small, so I'm having to, you know, get a little creative with it. And this is the final setup. This is what I was trying to build, a camera rig. And this is great for certain shots. Like let's say if I'm skateboarding and I can have the shot really low, or you know, with this handle here, I could take it off, and then I could use this sort of as a stand like this to film like that. But I really, main thing I'm pretty much going to use this for is for lower angle shots, like when I'm on a bike, or if I'm on a skateboard, or you know, certain shots I can do like this, you know, much easier than just taking a camera and doing it like that. This is a whole lot more stable. Like, I can hold the camera, like, it's way easier to hold the camera like this, because I got way more stuff to hold on to. And I can even make this wider. I think I will make this wider. I haven't glued these together, so I'm still testing it out. I think I'm gonna go and get some test shots really fast to see how it is in action. And I know what you guys thinking, why won't you just use a GoPro or just use a pocket camera? Well, to deal with this camera, you can change out the lenses. I haven't started to experiment with lenses just yet, but yeah, you can definitely change out lenses with this setup, and you can also have a really good microphone, so you can get that really awesome quality. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's do a test shot walking through the house with the rig. Without the rig. Real talk right now. Would like to share a little something with you guys. So a lot of you guys know I live in Oakland, and I've lived in Oakland for about, I don't know, about almost a year and a half. Now before I lived in Oakland, I lived in the city, and people have questioned me quite a bit. Is it worth it for me to commute from here to there to work? Is it worth it for me to commute, you know, 2 hours to the city to work? I haven't really answered those questions. I'm still trying to answer it myself. I've been thinking about this, and I'm just gonna throw this out. So when I lived in San Francisco, one thing I noticed, that when I lived in the city, I would always make much more than I would living outside the city. Now, a lot of people may say, well, that don't make any sense. Well, I'll explain to you why I always made more when I lived in the city versus now living outside of the city. Well, when I lived in the city, I would always take advantage of the prime hours, okay? Now, if you live outside of the city, you can easily do this too, but living in the city is a little bit different. With those prime hours, I would always go out every morning, rush hour, and I would always go out every evening, rush hour, okay? The middle of the day, every now and then I would drive, but usually I didn't drive because I would aim to make like $100 in the morning, $100 in the evening. I would work very minimal hours getting to that $100 because those were the hottest hours to work. Those were the prime time hours, okay? Also, weekends. I would work like crazy on the weekends. Now, I didn't work all the time on the weekends. I would also work the prime time hours on the weekends. You know, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., you know, those shifts. You know, I would take off right in the midday because there's lots of traffic. There's, you know, less people moving around. People are out doing stuff, you know, and around dinner time I would go back out and drive, and I would repeat this cycle. And I noticed that, man, when I lived in the city, I was making way more money on Uber because if it was slow, I could just go home. Okay, I could just go home. I can make food at home. Now I can't just go home when I'm in the city. I have to like go somewhere and buy food. So that's a big difference. And I've also noticed this. This is a huge problem I have since I moved outside of the city. Okay, this happened to me earlier today. When I'm in the city and I pull over in the car and I ask myself, do I want to go back to Oakland now or do I want to stick around and wait it out? I go through this all the time, like all the time, where I'm just sitting and I'm thinking, do I want to leave or do I not? And that causes two problems. Usually when I'm sitting in the city and I'm asking myself, do I want to leave? Do I want to leave? I'm wasting time because I could either be gone already or I could still be working. Okay. And this usually happens twice. It happens when I'm in the city and it also happens when I'm in Oakland. It'll happen in Oakland a lot. I'll say to myself, dude, I really don't want to drive all the way to the city and discover that it's not busy. You know, I don't want to drive from here, sit in traffic, get to the city, and then stay there for 2 hours, complete 2 rides, and make $10. I have that problem all the time. Living in the city, it's like I never really had that problem because I would always go out the prime hours. And if it wasn't prime hours, sometimes I would still always go out because I don't know, it's just a difference when you're in the city. Like when I'm in Oakland at night, I say to myself, I don't want to go to the city because I don't want to get sent really, really far away. But when I lived in the city, I never really thought like that because if someone ever sent me far away, I would just go back to the city because that's where I lived. So it's like a mind thing with the city, and I don't know, this is a problem I have, and people have definitely mentioned this in the comments before. People have said stuff like, hey, I don't know if it's worth it for me to drive like an hour to LA to work, or I don't really know if it's worth it for me to commute 2.5 hours every day to go to this city and work. I don't know how much money I would make. I don't know if I'm gonna break even. And I mean, around here in the Bay, like you can definitely make money doing it, but it's the time. It's really the time that's more importantly. And a lot of people don't think about the time, they only think about the money. But if you spend 20 hours a week on average just commuting to a place where you're gonna work, just think about the time that you could have spent making money in those 20 hours, you know? And think about how much money you could have made in those 20 hours. And I think that's what I was doing in the city. Like I had no commute. And now since I live in Oakland, I literally dread going to the city. Like I hate going to the city because it's so much traffic and it's just like that like all the time. And even if it wasn't traffic, it's just one extra added step. I don't know. I'm done with ranting for now. Much later, just got done editing the vlog. Hope I didn't sound really depressing. I actually thought about cutting that whole scene out of the vlog, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it stay there, And guys, once again, tomorrow we're gonna do all this over again. Another day, another dollar. Peace.